What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I'm Reckless.
Okay.
We got Douglas Murray. Piers Morgan. I haven't seen Piers Morgan in a minute. You feel me? But about to see what's going on in this video. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. First time seeing Douglas Murray. Don't even know what it is. Douglas Murray.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that.
You feel me? But you already know. Not the first time Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan. I think we got Piers Morgan about a year ago. I think. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
The first time seeing Piers Morgan. And I think I knew him before that. Let's get in the video.
The problem is we've forgotten how to be genuinely proud of our great countries, both America and the United Kingdom, two of the greatest countries in the world. It's almost like every day now, somebody somewhere, normally on the left, the woke left, is queuing up to find a reason to hate the countries and their histories.
Well, it's a kind of grievance competition. Your guest earlier just tried to engage in it. I don't know what hurt she believes she's had from slavery. All of this was addressed 2 centuries ago. Everything has consequences. All history has consequences and ramifications. But, you know, if we were to play this fairly, we would at least look at all of the countries around the world that engaged in the slave trade who are simply not interested in any form of reparations. The Ottoman Empire, all the Arab countries who not just traded far more slaves than across the Atlantic, but castrated all the men so that there wouldn't be any more African slaves after them. They worked them to the bone. I see no interest across Africa in paying reparations for selling their brother and sister Africans into slavery or for working them to the bone to the present day. There is slavery across Africa today. In fact, there are more slaves in the world today than there were at the height of the transatlantic slave trade. So some of us are simply a bit bored of hearing people ripping at closed wounds and then crying about their hurt or their presumed hurt. Because
I know this is about to get crazy or something because she's sitting there laughing.
About their hurt or their presumed hurt. Because everybody could do this. 1 million Europeans were stolen by North Africans over the course of decades of the North African Barbary pirate slave trade. Where would you end if you did that? The answer is you couldn't end, because nobody is alive who has actually suffered the hurt, and nobody is alive who did the wrong. And I'd make one other point, if I may. It's always the countries that people want to come to who are put through this struggle session. Britain, like America and France, are the most desired destinations for migrants worldwide and have been for centuries. Why is that? It's not because we're racist, it's because we're better. It's because we're good. It's because when we see racism, we actually call it out and recognize it as a sin. Try finding that across Africa. Try finding that across the Middle East or in China. Nobody would hear. So what we have is a situation where the more virtuous countries are presented as the worst countries. It's sick, and most of us are tired of it.
Whoever Douglas is, he's a straight shooter. And one thing about reacting to these videos and seeing different people, and this our first time, you know, seeing who Douglas is. I like straight shooters, you feel me? Pause. But straight shooters, that's the ones that ain't gonna take no type of
they
nothing.
Just get it out there, yeah.
Get it out there and
not beat around the bush about it.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Shoot the facts out there.
It as a sin. Try finding that across Africa. Try finding that across the Middle East or in China. Nobody would hear. So what we have is a situation where the more virtuous countries are presented as the worst countries. It's sick, and most of us are tired of it.
Thank you, Douglas.
I am so sorry that Douglas is bored by the pain that has come
That's not what he said.
through slavery.
He didn't say.
I'm
he
so
didn't say.
tired.
But what you're doing there, what you're doing, yeah. But hang on, Paula. Paula, you're being very.
And that's one thing that a lot of people tend to do when a person gets angry, or a person doesn't hear something that they like to hear, or a person gets mad and they rather take the feelings and not the facts. It goes to, oh, I'm about to flip this around on what he said. He didn't say that.
Yeah.
He didn't say. He didn't say. But what you're doing there, what you're doing, yeah. But hang on, Paula. Paula, you're being very disingenuous. That's not what he said.
I am.
The viewers aren't stupid. They know exactly what he said. He's not saying he's bored by the pain. He's saying, and I think it's a perfectly valid point, the pain that people who are alive today are claiming they're suffering for what happened 200 or 300 years is not a real pain. They're not the ones who suffered what was going on 200 or 300 years ago.
So in terms of justice for all, I mean, I think we'd all agree that there
Well,
should
I'm
be
not
justice.
suffering from when the Normans invaded this country.
Agree.
I'm not suffering from what my ancestors went through.
I noticed that I'm not being allowed to respond.
Or from the Romans. In other words, where do you take this? I mean, should I now be feeling pain from what the Romans did to this country?
In terms of slavery, I can take it to 2015, when the slave owners were compensated by the government. So I can take it to that extent.
Where does your personal pain come?
And I can say to you, that I don't think that apologising is a bad thing. I think that apologising for a wrong is a good thing. I think that the Dutch royal family have done a fantastic thing in acknowledging what has gone wrong.
Okay, I hear you, but
I
honestly think it'll make no difference at all.
Honestly, it's not. Thinking about that, like, that's not going to make, like, it's like one of those things. Something happens, you know, and somebody apologizes for it. It's gonna be something else, and it'll be something else, and it'll be something else. It's that cycle. Yeah. So, and on top of that, it's like it's just it becomes ridiculous for a lot of these things. Just like this, instead of just taking the facts, not really so much of feelings, and like then I keep on hearing the ancestors. Oh, this is affecting me, and this is I don't think I would ever say that. I don't think I ever think about that, because I can be as good as the next person, you know, if I don't sit there and complain. But
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all tuning in and watching this reaction. Make sure y'all comment down y'all thoughts. Like this video up, please. You already know. Catch y'all next one.